Excellent choice returning for more training. The more you learn about this tool, the more powerful it will become for you. I hope you did the first exercise because each training will take you further into the app, and using the app will let you quickly master the features. Now let's start with the dashboard. You probably have a few items here after the first exercise. So note the red X's that appear next to history and the 3 columns. Clicking an X will clear either all columns using the top one or individual columns clicking the ones by each column title. If you ever need to change your password or access your membership options, click Account Settings. There will be more coming to the dashboard in the future, but that's it for now. The next item opens the library pane, and the one below it, the search pane. You already examined these in the first training, and we'll go into more depth on them soon to make you a pro at searching the scriptures. The next pane is for our collection notes. As you saw in the first training, a collection note is a master note coupled with scriptures. You can create a collection note in a few ways, but we'll cover that more in another training. The last pane type is the tag pane. This is like your own topical guide index that you create to help find collection notes. As you can see, we now have a number of panes open on the screen, and it's wider than my widescreen monitor shows all at once. There are a few things I can do. First, maybe I have good vision and want to zoom out on my screen to see more. Or maybe I have vision problems and need things to be a little bigger. In every browser, there are controls to zoom in and out. So just click your menu button to find your controls to zoom in and out to change the size of things. What if you want to scroll left and right? There's a few options. On the left, you see left and right pointers. Those scroll the screen to move you in that direction. You can also use the scroll bar at the bottom of the screen. If you have a touchpad, it's super easy. A 2-finger swipe will move you back and forth. If you don't have a touchpad laptop, you can even buy a touchpad like a mouse. Look in our FAQ for a recommendation. What if you want to move a pane to another location to be next to something you're studying? Just hover around the top of the pane till the icon turns into a hand instead of a pointer. Click and drag the pane into a new location. The next icon is an X, which will close all your panes at once if you ever want a clear screen and don't want to click each pane's close button to close them. The next item is the question mark, which brings up the training and help files. These training videos will give you the basic knowledge you need to master the program, but clicking into the other tutorials and resources link will give you many more tricks and tips to become a scripture study pro. Finally, the last button will sign you out of your session. Okay, now let's dive into the library pane a little bit more. The library pane lets you access the content within the app. If you know where you want to go, the search bar at the top makes it easy to get there. Just start to type the name of the book, and the program immediately filters for that book and displays the chapters for you to click on. The more you type, the more it filters. Clicking a link will open that chapter in a reading pane. Click the arrow at the top to expand the pane. Each note box to the side of a verse will hold as much content as you want. It will expand as you fill the space with text, up to 20 lines high, and then it will scroll for you to see your content. The purpose of these note boxes being next to the verses is so you can type all the inspiration that comes to you, or questions you have, or allow you to summarize concepts. The beauty of this design is they can always be visible while you study, even years later. When you return to a verse, you will not have to rethink what you've already thought about. You're preserving sacred insights. And when you do that, you show God that you care about the scriptures in a way that makes him want to give you more revelation. Pray and ponder as you question things, and you'll receive guidance about where to study and what to write. Now, as you're reading the scriptures, you can highlight words to bring up our toolbar. On the toolbar, you can mark up the text just like you're used to in other programs, but there are 2 unique features. Double-click a single word and click the 1828 button, and the Webster's 1828 dictionary will appear in a new browser tab with a definition of that word. You could copy-paste a definition from Webster's dictionary right back into your notes, or summarize what the word means if you wanted to. You'll learn more about Webster's amazing dictionary in a future email or by going to our resource articles. Another button on the toolbar is the FN button, which stands for Footnote. Here you could create your own clickable footnote if you wanted to make notes appear that way instead of typing something in the note field. It's up to you. You'll find your footnotes listed in the eye icon on the right, but you can also click on them to see them appear in the text. Now, here's a shortcut that comes in handy as well. Sometimes you're reading a chapter and don't want to add more to your current screen. If you control-click a link, you'll open that chapter in a new browser tab. On the other hand, sometimes you're reading in a given chapter and want to open another chapter in a pane to the right, but don't want to open the library and navigate to it. Maybe it's the next chapter and you want to see them side by side. Alt-click an item in your breadcrumb trail or the previous or next links at the top, and you'll get that exact item to the right instead of opening it in the pane that you're reading. It can save you a little time. It's just a convenience. Next to every verse, there is a links button that gives you direct access to additional outside resources for that verse. These are powerful resources that can aid you in your search for understanding the scriptures. They'll be covered later in our resource emails, but I just wanted to point them out. Another powerful feature to access is in the study help section of our library. Clicking study helps immediately opens the topical guide. From here, you can browse alphabetically or search the topical guide for a word in the title, such as Jesus. As you study each topic, you can mark it complete to note which topics you've studied. Opening a topic opens a new pane with all the scriptures for that topic showing. You can read the verses here or click a verse reference to open that verse in its chapter. You can also click the Create CN button to create a collection note to actually study the topic instead of just reading it. This is a very powerful feature for studying the gospel by topic. Again, click the right arrow to see options to record verse notes, add verses for context, remove verses if desired, and title, tag, and categorize a collection note to save it. If you create a collection note with the intention to study a topical guide entry, click the Studied TG box to mark it as complete in your topical guide. Then save your collection note and study the topic. Now let's get you onto your next assignment. Pick a chapter to read or go into the study helps and pick a topical guide entry to create a collection note from. As you're reading, mark it up as you choose. Look up definitions of words in Webster's 1828 dictionary. Every thought you have about the verses, record in the note field to the right. If you have a question about something in that verse, record it. Pause and ponder on it. Is there something to that word? What's the definition? When you've completed that chapter, return here and do the next training lesson. In it, I'll share what to do with those questions as we talk about searching the scriptures for answers.